Okay, so this is going to be a few videos on the workflow on how to make something. The workflow is like this: you have a product in mind, or what you want to make. In this case, I'm going to make a wooden spoon, and I've just got a little piece of soft pine in here for this example, this demonstration. It should make things go a little easier. So you have to have that spoon, in this case, in your mind the whole way through. You gotta figure out how you're gonna hold it to begin with, how you're gonna hold it when you flip it, how you're gonna orient it to keep it, located. Then once you have basically a plan, like I'm gonna hold this board down with 6 of these screws, and the reason for 6 is going to be evident when I flip it over and cut the finish part. But for now, I'm going to have 2 here, 2 here, 2 back there, and when I flip it, they're concentric from left and right this way. So when I flip it, it's just going to be in the same location. The scoop is going to be this way, and the first time it's going to be concave. And the reason I'm doing that is because that's the hardest part to sand when you're finishing it, that little scoop part. And if I do a really good finish, I won't have to sand it. And you're going to get a better finish if you do it when you've got everything solid. When I flip it over, it's not going to be as solid when I do the finish. So anyway, you have to have everything in mind. Then you download it, of course, off the internet, and then you import it into your CAD program, your CAD cam. And you have to orient it on here. What I've done is, I'll have to show you on the machine. I have this block here, and it's bolted down, it's square to the machine. It's a 1, 2, 3 precision block. I use it to locate off of the threads of the router, and when I put the threads here and I barely get it to slide through, that's 0. And I do it the same for this side, and that's the Y0. And what you end up with is the spindle will be right over top of this circle right here when I do that, and that's kind of the machine 0. My work 0 is 3/8 further in each direction. And I've cut a pocket 25 thousandths deep. So that's my work area. What I've done with this piece of wood is I've worked another 1/2 inch off that edge, so that when I flip it, if this side here is wider than the center line, if I was up against this wall here, it could overlap and be up on top of this level here, which would be bad. So I give it a little bit of space, and I can just use gauge blocks to get it close. It doesn't matter. You got extra stock all the way around, so you gotta get close, and that's it. So go back over here, and the way I've drawn it is in the white work area. That is my machine 0, and 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch. That's my work 0. Or actually, I guess I am actually programming from my, I'm programming from my machine 0. So when I set my 1/2 inch off that block in each direction, it's 0, 0 here. So I'm working from there. So you got to plan all this out. I've got the screw heads. You got to measure the screw heads, make sure you're not going to hit them. The screw heads are 400.4 diameter, so I drew circles that were 1/2 inch. This inner line is the spoon, and the outer line is an offset of 200 thousandths. I'm going to be using an 1/8 inch cutter, so that's going to be 75 thousandths clear here, 50 thousandths on the circle. It's an 1/8 inch. I shouldn't hit any bolt heads, screw heads. So And like I said, you just plan all this out, you draw it, then you assign cutter paths. So that's your CAD CAM. And once you make, and then you post it, you make a G code, you send it over here in your little thumb drive, and you load it up. So you come over here, file open. That's the drill one. Open, and there it is. So now I'm ready to put my holes in here. What I'll do is I'll just do a start hole, and the holes in here are going to be just big enough to get past these threads, and that's going to keep it from moving around too much. It's going to locate. You don't want a lot of slop in there. And these are the ones I've selected because they'll go through this board and into the MDF, but they'll stay out of the main table. So yeah, you do that, then you put holes in the MDF with the machine so you're located properly. Now then you're ready to go. You're ready to screw it down and start your cuts. Now, I've had a lot of trouble with MPCNCs, with the serial port. I've had a lot of trouble getting 3D to work. It always seems to want to go off wherever it wants to go. I think it's in the post. I don't know, but it's always when I work with a Arduino serial connection. When I work with Mach 3 parallel, no problems. So let's see what we can get done with this. I don't know. So I'll come back with, I don't edit these videos, so you just have to bear with me. When I come back, we'll be a little further along. Thanks.